I didn't slam the door when I left. She thought I'd come running back like before. Didn't curse, but the day she chose herself over us, because when the truth cuts that deep, I didn't ask her to stay. I didn't ask why. And in that moment, I just nodded and walked out the door with everything I came with. I walked out because I had to, because stay would have meant just swallowing something I couldn't live with. Because when someone starts treating your presence like an option, I thought it was over until the letter your absence. Folded, if you've ever left quietly when every doorstep in the quietest way possible. If you've ever let go, and suddenly everything you stopped loving about the situation, but because you finally loved yourself enough. We've been together for 4 years, for years of comfort. And if this story feels even a little bit like yours, Sunday morning not wrapped in each other's silence. Drop a comment. It wasn't fireworks anymore. It was steady years, familiar. I loved a woman named Kate. Or so I thought. We weren't picture perfect. Looking back, but we were real. I can pinpoint the exact moment they had out inside jokes. It was in her eyes how they stopped lingering on mine. The kind of love that in her voice how she started speaking in half sentences like she was always holding something back. Small wedding in the spring, because when you love someone you defend them even from your own instincts. And maybe that's why I hurt more when I found out the truth. It wasn't even something big at first. But sometimes conversation I overheard her voice low and nervous on the phone saying she couldn't keep doing this. When she picked up more freelance projects, but I did. And a few networking dinners, her and weekends away for work. She smiled. I trusted her until the work stopped making sense. Said I was overthinking and I wanted to believe her. Shorter phone calls, I wanted to believe her. Late night texts with the next morning face down. I checked her messages. That sixth sense, something I had never done before, kicked in. Something I never wanted to do. I asked her directly. And there it was. Just another name. No yelling. Another world no accusations. One I didn't exist in. She had me for a long time and then said, physically, I don't know what I feel anymore. She was already gone. I need space. I remember just staring at the screen. I didn't break things or raise my voice. I didn't confront her. Just stood up, wait for her to come home, and left. I just grabbed my coat, my keys. I didn't take the time to pack. No, just grabbed what mattered, a couple clothes. I walked out on the life we had built because she had already rented a room from a friend 2 towns over. Days turned into weeks. Didn't tell anyone what happened. I got my own place. When they asked, started over kind of. Just needed a reset. I still carried her in the quiet moments. But the truth, I was unraveling in the way I paused when I saw a shirt that nights were the worst. In the ache not because I missed realized I didn't know what she was doing anymore. Used to be before she forgot how to hold what she once prayed for. Because she had lied. I cut contact completely. That was a line I couldn't uncross. Didn't check her socials. Then one rainy afternoon, mutual friends. I came home and saw it. Didn't send the just wondering how you are no envelope. Wait, just my name written in her handwriting. Don't learn and placed gently outside my door. If you go back to someone who broke you without accountability, every part of me screamed break you again. Only to let her back in. Not even through 4 was the lowest. But I did. I couldn't eat, and what I read broke me in a way her lie never worked out. Worked probably pretending I was fine. I would, but something shifted. But before you erased me completely, I started sleeping without dreaming of her name. Not because I deserved forgiveness, started laughing, but because you deserved the truth, not the polite kind. I lied that night. Started becoming someone who didn't need her to feel whole. But because I was ashamed of who I was becoming. I had moved into my own place. In my messages. Small, I wasn't in love with him. Mine. I was in love with the attention, built my own shelves, the version of me that didn't have to be perfect or strong or held together. And then 1 year to week I was everything I ever wanted to be. But I didn't know how to hold on to that without feeling like I had just come back from a run. I know that makes no sense, but I was scared. Was unlocking my front door that I wasn't enough anymore. That voice I hadn't heard in a year. Wake up and realize you deserve better. I turned. So I created a mess, but a coward's way out. Tired, I gave you a reason to hate me instead of asking for help. Holding something you didn't yell when you left. A photo. You didn't even look back. A photo of us at a lake. But I watched you go from the window, and I've never stopped regretting it. I didn't say anything. Just stood there. I'd gone to message you 100 times. She stepped closer. But what do you say to the person whose heart you shattered? I didn't know where else to go. I'm not asking for another chance. She looked at me. I just need you to know you were never the problem. I thought I wasn't. I'll spend the rest of my life carrying that. She held up the photo. I hope you find someone who doesn't run when things get messy. Told myself I'd reach out. But if you ever wonder whether I just didn't know if I deserved to. I did. She wiped her eyes. I still do. He wasn't what I thought he was. I just didn't know how to love you right. Exciting, her name, unpredictable. I sat on the floor for hours after reading it. Not because I forgave her instantly, but because I finally understood betrayal isn't always about malice. Sometimes it's about fear, the years, self-destruction. But I had spent 12 months stitching myself back together quietly, and the truth completely. The truth hurt, and I wasn't allowed to let her reminded me that what we had was real. She reached out to touch my arm. It just wasn't strong enough to survive the war she was fighting. You left and I let you. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. Not because I didn't feel anything, because you did. But because some letters are meant to be the ending, not the beginning of something new. I know I messed up, and yet I just want to tell you I'm sorry. Not to reopen you were right to walk away, but to remind myself I just never stopped hoping you come back because they stopped loving you. I looked her in the eyes because they forget how to love themselves. I didn't come back because I finally loved myself more than I loved the someone else's lie. You are allowed to walk away, lips trembling. You are allowed to never look back, she whispered. But if closure comes in an envelope or a message or a whisper from the past, maybe one day you'll build a new one and treat it better than you did me. Not to reopen what's been closed, but she stood there for a second, then walked away. If this story touched you, no goodbye, comment below. Just like I had done a year ago. With someone still I stepped inside, closed the door, remember, and sat with my dog at my feet, but also my chest hurt. Because sometimes from walking away isn't from the final release of everything. It's where the understanding finally begins. Sometimes walking away isn't weakness. It's the most honest form of self-respect. And when they finally come back, you'll realize you never needed them to, you just needed yourself. If this story hit you where it hurts, hit like, leave a comment, and never forget, you are worth staying for.